Good morning, everybody. Thank you for braving the rain to show up. It's not that rainy, but it might be a little bit rainier later. But we had such a beautiful sunny spring day last week, and we're having a beautiful rainy spring day today, and I'm grateful for both. My name is Liz King. I am a member of the Board of Trustees. I use she, her pronouns. If this is your first time with us, I want to give you a special welcome and tell you how to get connected in just a minute. But for now, let's remember our online community and wave to the camera so that they will know we haven't forgotten them either. Welcome to our friends joining us online. Now you may greet each other here in the sanctuary, and online folks, feel free to greet each other in the chat. This will be just a quick greeting. Thank you for returning to your seats, and thank you for Jacob for that energetic march that makes us look forward to moments to come. I'd like to remind everyone that we do have a digital bulletin that comes to your email. If it's not coming to your email, talk to somebody at the welcome desk, especially new folks. The e-bulletin is a great way to know what's going on in the church, opportunities to get to know each other and engage more deeply in our religion. Alyssum, you're gesturing to me. What is it you would like to announce?
Yes, what time it is almost. It's almost time for Memorial Day camp out.
Up here so they can hear you.
One of our favorite times of year.
Microphone, please.
Okay.
I'll get that.
Okay. I'll be very fast. I don't want to take over announcement time, but it's almost Memorial Day camp out time, which is one of our favorite times of year for many of our families. So we're having a planning session after church today in the library. So if you want to help plan, come join us. That's all.
That is a tradition that's been going on for so many years, like decades, and I hope that new people will join it and experienced people will return. Another longtime tradition is our plant sale, which is happening today out on the patio, also next week out on the patio. It's not raining so hard that you can't go find yourself a couple of bedding plants or other exciting things. We're so grateful to the Ramming family and Pacific Star Gardens, who provide an awful lot of the plants that it is a fundraiser for our church. So we're grateful to have that. Also a reminder that today is UUSC Justice Sunday in the UU wider community. The UUSC is Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, and it advances human rights and social justice around the world. We honor that work today. I'm guessing that might have something to do with some of the signage that you see before you. On May 23rd from 10 to 4, you are invited to join Reverend Angeline, Sophia, and Tamara for a day-long retreat built around this year's UUA Common Read, Social Change Now, A Guide for Reflection and Connection by Deepa Iyer. That's a great title. Social Change Now, A Guide for Reflection and Connection. Iyer's work centers what she calls the social change ecosystem, a framework that names the different roles people play in collective action, from frontline organizing to caregiving to visioning. The retreat will give us time to explore that framework together and ask, what does it mean for us here as a congregation? The retreat is free. Every registered participant receives a copy of the book. I guess they're supposed to read it before so you'll get it when you register, so register early. Space is limited to 20 people. I guess that's how many books we got. So registration is required. You can sign up on Realm by May 9th. If you need help registering, talk to one of the organizers, Reverend Angeline, Sophia, or Tamara. And Sophia will be at the table on the social hall this morning if you have questions and need help registering. I have another lengthy announcement. If you were here last week, you already heard this, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit shorter and also address some of the comments and questions I've heard since then. The Board of Trustees has agreed to present to UUCD members at our annual membership meeting this June a proposal to confer Minister Emerit status on Reverend Beth Banks. This is an honor an organization confers on retired professors, clergy, elected or corporate officials, or other professionals who meet specific standards. It is not the UU equivalent of sainthood. It is It is not a Valentine or a love letter. It is not a paid position or an invitation to the pulpit. It is a professional distinction given with respect and appreciation. The UUA says that the status is granted to honor a minister's long and meritorious service to a particular congregation. UUCD's policy can be found in past e-bulletins and also among the government documents on our website, but in short, a minister must have served for a minimum of 10 years with devotion, skill, creativity, and integrity. Reverend Beth served UUCD for 22 years, and her gifts to us include mentoring worship associates, pastoral associates, intern ministers, and leading us in social justice and shared ministry. She tended to us during 9/11, political upheaval, which hasn't stopped, and criminal violence that touched our own congregation. The resolution will be shared with members and informational sessions will be held before it comes to a vote at the June 7th annual meeting. And Steve Burns, thank you for pointing out that I said June 8th last time. It is June 7th, which is a Sunday. The resolution needs 70% in favor in order to pass. If you have questions or concerns, please talk to a board member or Reverend Angeline, and watch the bulletin. We'll let you know about the information sessions that are going to happen. We'll try to have them like maybe one after church and one midweek, and we will have Zoom options available for our Zoom congregants so everybody can get the information. Alrighty, now a prelude, some words to music to balance out all those words. Thank you, Jacob. That was lovely. Each week, we add our story to the rich tapestry of stories that have unfolded on this land. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of the Patwin people, including the Yochadihi Wintun Nation today. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries, as it has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be gathered here today on their traditional lands. Let us carry this awareness of connection into our time together and into our relationship with where we are today. Please join me in singing our call to worship, My Life Flows On in Endless Song, up there or in your book, or maybe you've memorized it.
Creation. Good morning, everyone. Hello. So I would just like to publicly thank Reverend Angeline for having some quiet, reflective times for all of us. The one that I was part of was last Wednesday. It just really gave all of us an opportunity to express some of our fears and anxieties that we might have in a private, loving, respectful space. And so I just want to say thank you for doing that. The lighting that we are having today is the lighting that I did for that service on Wednesday, or it wasn't a service, but that meeting on Wednesday. So we gather in a time that feels heavy, when the world trembles with uncertainty, when hearts are burdened, and the path forward is not always clear. Yet even now we come together, not because the darkness is gone, but because we refuse to face it alone. We light this chalice as a symbol of courage in the face of fear, of compassion that refuses to yield, of truth that still seeks to be spoken, and of love that endures even now. May this small flame remind us that even in difficult times, there is a light within us and among us, a light no darkness will ever overcome. Let us carry it forward together.
Today, we celebrate and welcome those who have chosen to deepen their commitment to our community by signing our membership book. This act of transformation, this act of commitment, transforms visitors into seekers and seekers into companions on the journey.
I'm Ginger G, she, her, and I'm part of the membership committee. I'd like to invite Lane Suarez up. She's our new member. We also had Helena Chung, who was going to join, but the signing of the book formality didn't happen, so next time. Lane grew up on the East Coast, but spent many years living in other places, including Hawaii and Panama. She moved to this area in 2013 to join her daughter and grandson. Professionally, she's been doing bookkeeping, payroll, and accounting, but now she's almost fully retired. With more time to travel, which she loves, last year she went to Africa and Panama. She also enjoys hiking and Scrabble. She became involved in UUCD through a friend in the Threshold Choir. She's now part of our Sparks Choir. She also sings with the Free Range Singers in a band called Tune Up that performs covers at local senior facilities. We're glad to have you as part of our community.
Lane, you have already begun to weave yourself into the life of this community. Together, we have faced joys and sorrows, shared in questions and discoveries, and experienced collective growth. Today, we celebrate your commitment to this community. You choose to be here, to grow with us, and to help shape our future. Will you bring your authentic self to this community, engage in respectful conversation and receptive listening, maintain an open-hearted presence with all who gather here, contribute your unique gifts to our shared ministry? I will. Members of UUCD, on the back of your order of services, what's happening next? Sorry. Lane has chosen to join in building beloved community. Will you commit to welcoming her fully into our fellowship, creating space for her voice and perspectives, supporting her spiritual growth, and walking with her through times of joy and challenge? Yeah. Please join me in reading our covenant. We affirm our commitment to creating and living within a spiritual community with actions based on respectful conversation, receptive listening, and open-hearted presence. Just as trust builds over time through small acts of reliability and care, so too will your membership deepen through the daily choice to remain in relationship with this community. May you find here what you seek, offer what you can, and grow in ways you never expected. Welcome. And last week I introduced the song to you, and this week we're gonna learn it properly, and Jacob will lead us. It is called Rise Again by Urban Voices Project.
So I'm going to sing through this once just to familiarize you all with the tune, and then we'll sing it 2 more times additionally as a congregation together. So here it is. I've got the patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going, so I can rise again, rise again. I've got the patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going, so I can rise again, rise again. I've got the patience to inhale, exhale. I've got the energy to sing. I've got the strength to keep on going, so I can rise again, rise again.
Thank you, Jacob. Beloveds, I don't know how each week keeps being worse. Ooh. This week brought crisis, which is an understatement, and heartbreak, and put on full display the worst of what we can be, without guardrails, without empathy, without compassion. Just the worst. And like whiplash, in the same week, we saw the remarkable things we can accomplish when we turn towards goodness and curiosity. And honestly, it's just too much for any one person to hold. And yet, here we are, having lived through this week together. So, beloveds, for this morning's joys and sorrows, I'm going to invite you to come forward and share. If you would like, I'm going to move that mic to the middle. I want you to be mindful that there are others who will want to speak. So help us to create space for everyone in how long you share. Rather than forming a line, I'm going to ask us to remain seated until you are ready to share, and allow a breath between each speaker. Friends online, please type your joys and sorrows in the chat, and I will read them aloud if you would like. So, if you feel so moved, you can come forward to that microphone and share your joys and sorrows. I have another mic in case you can't move, and I will bring it to you.
Hi, I'm Jerry Omart. We've had many celebrations of life over the last few months, and we have a few more coming up. And I just want to say thank you so much to my team who have been so helpful, and Thomas and Alexander, just really wonderful. We could not have done this without the team. So thank you so much.
I am joyful today because my son's school is here, and it's been a crucial part of our family's change, watching him become a man, and a lot of that is due to him going to this school and finding his independence and his voice.
Going to the Pacific Western Division Assembly this weekend in Sacramento and hearing Sam Ames clearly explain how authoritarianism is using trans people to cement their power.
I'm Karen Fries. I got to spend time with all three of my children, some online, some in person, to select two high school seniors from my dear husband's high school to receive an $1,000 scholarship each. It was a real gift.
I feel so lucky. I just do. I feel good to be here. I just do. And I am so happy. I'm thinking about my son. And I have tried to live in what I call the new world. And so I grew my children up without a father. And as a single parent, I thought, I'm living the modern life. Oh my goodness, aren't I great? And I lived there, and then my children got to be old, and then they got unscared of me. And then they said to me, oh my goodness, we don't like not having a dad. And I thought, well, I never thought about what effect this would have on my children. And it's part of their path. It is part of their path. It's part of the way that we unlearn how to fight, how to hate. It's a very strange life, but it's a very good life, because I feel we're part of the transition and moving toward the non-war life. And I'm very happy for that. And this church has helped me keep my faith in myself and to live forward and to have something good to do every day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi there, Joe, he, she, they. So last weekend was the 50th anniversary of the UCD powwow that I went to, which was fabulous, beautiful. And then yesterday we had the Pacific Western Assembly BIPOC caucus meeting, and it was fabulous.
From online, Carol writes, my children came from afar to visit, so my joy. My sorrow is watching the continued destruction of families in the Middle East and at home, and one side of our government refusing to do anything about their mad leaders. Lily and Robert, sorrow says, loss of my son-in-law's aunt, the family matriarch, and their friend and Joy. Our son joined me from San Diego to attend Bonnie's celebration of life in San Francisco on Friday. That was from Lily. Yeah. Beloveds, please join me in a moment of silent reflection, holding space for the joys and sorrows that have been named and the joys and sorrows that weigh on our spirits. Spirit of life, spirit of love. I don't have any words because it's just all so much, and yet there is so much abundant joy, and it feels like this big conflicting mess of what do you do with all these range of feelings and all that's happening in the world. And so as I struggle to find words that would be adequate enough for a prayer, I take a deep breath. And I release it knowing that I am surrounded, and we are all surrounded by a community of love that is capable of holding us during these times so that we do not have to go through any of the things alone. Amen and blessed be. We will end our time of joys and sorrows with a song we learned a couple weeks ago, Peace Unto You by Reverend Linda Susan Ulrich. And we're just going to sing peace, hope, strength, and joy. And Jacob, is there anything else we need to know?
I think maybe I or maybe we are going to sing it once through as an intro, me and Reverend Angeline, to get the tune in your ears, and then we'll sing it 4 times total as a congregation with the words peace, and then hope, and then strength, and then joy. And I'll remind you of those as we go. Oh.
Peace unto you, peace unto you, may nothing harm you, there's love all around you. Peace unto you, peace unto you, peace, peace unto you, peace unto you, may nothing harm you, there's love all around you. Peace unto you, peace unto you, hope, hope unto you, hope unto you, may nothing harm you, there's love all around you. Hope unto you, hope unto you, strength, strength unto you, strength unto you, may nothing harm you, there's love all around you. Strength unto you, strength unto you, joy, joy unto you, joy unto you, may nothing harm you, there's love all around you. Joy unto you, joy unto you.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Tamara Range. My pronouns are she, her. Each night, as I lie in bed and the day comes to a close, I return to a simple, steady practice. I name what I am grateful for. It is the last thing I do before I fall asleep. It's a quiet prayer, a grounding, an act of calm. I've tried to remember where it began. My memory brings me back to my childhood after my parents were separated. My mom, sister, and I shared a bedroom. I remember at night lying there with my mom about to go to sleep. My mother taught us the Lord's Prayer. It was the first time I'd ever experienced my mom's faith, which is strange looking back now because she was very Christian. I think she was teaching us how to be strong in times of sadness. At the time, I didn't know how deeply that moment would root itself in me. I didn't know it would grow into something that I would carry with me through my lifetime. Over the years, that prayer morphed into something that was more suited to my life. It has become my own, less about reciting words and more about noticing, about honoring, and about giving thanks. No matter where I am, I say my prayer of gratitude, even in moments of illness or in a hospital bed. I have held on to this practice, especially in hard times. And what I name in gratitude is not only the big life-defining things, though they are there too, like my health, my family's well-being, and the lives my children are building and growing for themselves, and the work that sustains me. But also the small, tender details of the ordinary day. A comfortable pillow, calming music, a favorite TV show, maybe something that made me smile that day, and of course, cheese is usually somewhere in that list too. Gratitude, I've learned, does not measure importance. It simply notices it. It receives it. In a world that can feel overwhelming, where fear and uncertainty can easily take hold, this practice becomes more important than ever. It reminds me that even now there is goodness. There is joy. What I've come to understand is that this nightly ritual doesn't just help me rest, it literally shapes how I live. It meets me again in the morning, quietly, guiding my first thoughts when I wake up. It becomes the energy I carry into the rest of my day, and it's the lens through which I see others and the spirit I try to share with others. It flows outward into my relationships, into my presence, into the ways I show up for the people I love. Because at the heart of it all, it is these relationships, our family, our friends, this community, that matter the most. They are what sustain me. They are how I experience meaning. They are how I feed my soul. And so I choose each day to care for them, to show up, to give back the love that I so freely receive from them. And I care for myself too by returning again and again to that gratitude. Not because life is perfect, but because it's precious. And not because there are hardships, but because there is still beauty.
I invite you to rise. I invite you to rise, embodied spirit, to sing our hymn of the month. What I have learned is a favorite, Blue Boat Home. Oh, Blue Boat Home.
Though below me I feel these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can stay. I've been sailing all my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I've traveled, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun may set and moon my rudder as I glide a starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we can pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on. Read the infinite sea before me. Sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Crewmates. I hope that the Artemis crew got to think about that song. Now is the time for us to take our offering. This week, as on second and fourth Sundays, we share our offerings with another organization in the community, and this week it is Meristem. The director of Meristem, Aaron Schrim, will speak about Meristem and its service to the community, if I am not mistaken. Ah, there we go.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting me into your beautiful community. When I first got here, I just got to enjoy your property and what has been built. Tamara was sharing with me over the last 60 or so years, this incredible space. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you. Thank you to Tamara, thank you to Kelly, thank you to Billy, and a couple friends and an instructor from our school that have shown up this morning, Elizabeth, Aaron, and Mia. And I'll tell you a little bit about Meristem. So we're a non-for-profit organization in Fair Oaks. We serve young adults on the autism spectrum. Our main mission is to support greater independence, and so we're passionate about education and education being done really well. And so the majority of our education is hands-on, craft, getting on the land, letting nature kind of refill our cup, working together, human to human. And I think that's one of the things that makes Meristem special, is that our value is I live it first before I ask somebody else to live it. And that kind of builds a community that is powerful in its way in which we go about the work that we do. We have 5 pillars in our program: life skills, land, movement, craft, and self-leadership. And particularly the focus of our program is that movement is the base, that we really realize, this is kind of my story a little bit, that when we can't get along as human beings, it's a result of our inability to move oftentimes. It's the result of my inability to understand where you're coming from, to shift my perspective to help another, to understand another's perspective. And so our whole program is predicated on helping an individual move differently and explore movement in hundreds and thousands of different ways, that it helps integrate myself in a way that I can move with myself, I can move with I can move with the entire community, and I can move on this world in an effective way. And so this is really important work. Some crazy facts are 85% of young adults on the spectrum are unemployed. A lot of families are isolated and not part of communities because there's a social kind of norm that we think is the right norm, and that ends up isolating these families. And so I am inspired by your community, and this is what is needed to support the cause, inviting individuals into community, recognizing that they have amazing capabilities and talents, and helping those capabilities and talents come forward. So support comes in many ways from Meristem. Showing up on our campus and just saying hi to the people that we work with is huge. We have a cafe that's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that some of our previous students are employed in and run. We have a work skills department that is always looking for businesses that are interested in bringing young individuals on so that they can have meaningful work in their life. Donations and financial support go a long way. They help us provide scholarships. They help us provide internship dollars for people to get meaningful work. And they help us continue to do the important work that we're doing. So we have a phrase that we say at Meristem. It's called awaken the possible. It means like, hey, do what you can do. Don't worry about what you can't do. And if it's okay, just because I've been so moved by your service, I'd like to share a little verse that I say with my daughter every morning that I think speaks the mood that you've shared this morning, and then I'll finish. It goes, to wonder at beauty, stand guard over truth, look up to the noble, resolve on the good. This leadeth us truly to light in our thinking, to peace in our feeling, to strength in our doing, and teaches us trust in the working of whatever you want to put there, God, the universe, teaches us trust in the working of God, and all that there is in the widths of the world, in the depths of our soul. Awaken the possible. Thank you.
I need to remind you of the ways you can make your donation. The baskets have already started moving here in the sanctuary. If you are not in the sanctuary or did not bring cash or check, there are other ways you can give at our website by text. You can write a check, and today's offering will automatically go to Meristem, so thank you. Sorry. I am so grateful for the variety of music that you bring to us, Jacob. And we are also grateful, of course, for your generosity, Tamara STEM. Please join me in blessing this offering. May the work of this organization create lasting impact in our community and our world. I have one more reminder that I forgot to do earlier, and that is about the field trip to the Auburn UU Church. It's called Sierra Foothills UU Church. Auburn is about an hour east of us up in the foothills. And we are planning to leave around 8:30 to get there at 9:30 for a 10 o'clock service. Their sermon topic is, "It's a Big UU World." Sometimes it seems like SFUU is an island with no other UU connections, but we are connected. Join us as we consider how the UUA and the 1,071 congregations worldwide work to build a better world. So it's a good week for us to be there. I have a carload. We can assemble other carpools. Please let me know, unless you're devoted to the idea of driving all the way up there by yourself. We'll probably stop for lunch on the way home. But please consider joining us. We've gotten a lot out of the last couple field trips we've done. And now, the wonderful, one and only, Reverend Angeline C. Jackson!
I hope my sermon lives up to that hype. I wanted you to know that the way we did Blue Boat Home today was deliberately a little bit different. I know it's a favorite, and you can ask me afterwards why we haven't been singing it. I'll be happy to answer. However, what I learned is that Blue Boat Home was written by Peter Mayer, and the melody of the song is actually, 207 in the hymnal. It's 207 in the gray hymnal is what the melody is from, and the keyboard arrangement is what we see in 1064. So what we were singing was more true to the original of the melody from 207. So that's what we're gonna be relearning to sing. It's a specific melody of 207, but it's the same melody. You notice it wasn't different? It was just maybe a little bit in the syncopation, but nothing much was different about it. So it's still Blue Boat Home, it's still 1064, but the keyboard is what's gonna be just a little different. Okay? You can always ask me afterwards, because you know I will answer the questions you ask me, right? Right. You have asked me questions before and gotten answers, right? Right. Okay. All right, well, good morning, beloveds. I want you to look around the room, and for those of you who still have signs with you, hold them up so we can see those signs. Look at the front, look around. Alex has a sign in the back. There's signs here in the middle. Thank you all for bringing the signs. I did not know how many we would have gotten, so thank you. These signs, they're all handmade. Some of them are weathered. Some of them were carried probably by people who wasn't sure if they would have gone that particular day, because I know these are from multiple different protests. Each one represents a moment when someone chose to publicly say what they believe. Standing in a street holding a sign that names who you are and what you're for takes something out of you, and it puts something in. And sometimes those aren't the same thing. Some of you would have come home from those marches energized, others exhausted, and some of you came home not knowing what to feel. Did it matter? Did it cause a shift? Was it worth the weariness? Those of you who've been doing this for a long time, that's not the question you're asking. I'm asking you to go back to the couple early times when you would have been doing these marches. But the question I want you to sit with this morning is not whether the signs and the protests and the marches work. It's not what we do next. Beneath every march and every sign and every drive home is a deeper question. Who are we becoming through the doing of these actions? Every time you have shown up to a rally, to this sanctuary, to the meeting you didn't want to attend, the conversation you were too tired to have, something happened inside you. You weren't just doing an action, it was formation. As we explore what it means to embrace possibility this month, I want you to consider that in addition to the possibilities of what can be achieved in the world, something is made possible in you through the practice of showing up for what you believe. So what is being made possible? At the heart of Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching is the idea that practice is not a means to an end. You do not meditate until you are enlightened and then you stop. The practice, right? You don't do that. The practice is what changes you. The sitting, the return, and the beginning again, that is not preparation for transformation. That is transformation happening slowly in the doing. This insight is not unique to Buddhism. It runs through Quaker testimony, contemplative Christian tradition, indigenous practices. You do not perform a ritual because you have already become who you need to be, right? You perform it because the performing is what shapes you. Our own tradition has held something similar for 200 years. Some of our early Unitarian thinkers believed that human beings are infinitely perfectible, not perfect, not finished, but always capable of becoming more. That is not a doctrine about achievement. And we talk about it now as you use in our principle about how we're always searching for truth and meaning. It's the evolution of that infinitely perfectible. This is not a doctrine about achievement, but one about direction. We are a people oriented toward becoming. I know this in my own life. For a long time, I knew that music mattered to my spirit, but I wasn't doing anything to feed that need daily. Eventually, I started putting on a record, like physical record, while I made my coffee in the morning. That was it. Nothing dramatic, but something shifted. The practice created the nourishment. I didn't wait until I felt nourished to begin. Womanist theologian Dr. Monica Coleman writes about transformation not as an event, but as a sustained movement toward wholeness, always incomplete, always continuing, always requiring the next step even when the destination is not visible. What I take from Coleman is that we are not trying to arrive. Instead, we keep trying to move forward to what we believe is possible. And that movement, sustained over time in community, is itself the spiritual life. Now hold that for a moment, and let's look at this congregation. 70 years ago, people sat in various rooms around Davis, City Hall basement, Girl Scout cabin on 7th and A Street, Chestnut Park Roundhouse, and decided to build something. They did not know what it would become. They built it anyway. The people who came after them found something worth staying for, worth deepening, worth inviting others into. You are not starting something this morning. You are continuing a practice of threshold keeping that began before any of us arrived. And when I look at where that practice is taking us, and when I let myself dream about this congregation, what this congregation is becoming, here's what I see. A congregation that becomes a spiritual home for people across this region who have been wandering and haven't found a place to land. A family in Woodland who has been searching quietly, hungrily for community, who find their way here and discover the hunger they thought was strange is actually something this place can hold. A music ministry so alive that people come to hear it and find themselves staying for something they didn't know they needed. Children growing up in this community who learn early and repeatedly that their worth is not earned and not conditional. Their parents learning the same thing alongside them, sometimes for the first time. I see a congregation willing to try new things, things that haven't been tried. We've spoken about throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing if it sticks, right? You remember some of that? Let's just throw it and see if it works. What was I saying? See a congregation willing to try things that haven't been tried, to risk being wrong in public, to keep becoming rather than settling for what already is. It's not a plan. It's not the plan. It is practice, and we're already doing it. One of the hardest things about formation is that it requires us to stay open to becoming something we cannot yet fully imagine. That is not comfortable. We like to know where we're going. We like progress we can measure, change we can see, but the practice of threshold keeping, the practice this congregation has been doing for over 70 years, the practice you were doing, you made those signs, did not come with a guaranteed outcome. It came with a direction. Embracing possibility is not optimism. It is not the feeling that things will work out. It is something more demanding than that. It is the willingness to keep moving forward to what we believe is true about human beings, that we are worthy, that we belong to each other, that becoming is always still available to us, even when we cannot see the destination. That is what possibility requires of us. Not certainty, not arrival, but the continued willingness to be people who are still becoming. I want to leave you with an image. Someone is sitting at their kitchen table making a sign. Maybe it's late. Maybe they're not sure that they will actually go to whatever the thing is, the action. They're choosing their words carefully, not because of how closely people will read the sign, but because the act of writing it down is itself a declaration, a kind of declaration. This is what I believe. This is who I am. They don't know yet what that moment is making of them. They just know they have to do it. That is the practice. That is what we are doing here every Sunday, every march and rally, every conversation where we were almost too tired to have it and had it anyway. We are writing ourselves into what we are becoming. I don't know exactly what this congregation will look like in 5 years or 10 or 20, but every time you show up, something is being written. Who are you becoming? Amen. I forgot what's happening next. Sorry. Please rise, embodying spirit. To sing our closing hymn, it is called the Peace Chant, or We Resist, by Mark Miller. And we're just going to sing We Resist 3 times, and Jacob will play an intro for us.
Back down.
extinguish these flames, but not the what they hold. May our sorrows be lightened and our joys shine brighter, and the spirit of this community go with us.
Beloveds, our benediction. Go from this place, still becoming. You are not finished, neither is the world. That is not a problem to solve. It is a practice. Go in peace. Amen.